ma'am.
Preeti, welcome. Dr. Preeti, welcome.
Sir, I think
Sir, it's time,
it's
sir.
8:30. Can we
We'll
start
start.
off?
One
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
Yeah.
please.
One second. 1 second.
Okay.
We'll start, sir.
Yeah,
Please.
I'm going to be doing the ceremony, the master of ceremony. I think
I'll-
I can right now. I can invite Chandru, the KSCASI secretary, to probably with a virtual medallion or a physical medallion. I don't know. Please go ahead with your
virtual medallion.
welcoming thing for our chairman.
Yeah, very good evening to all the
Hebsur,
members
sir.
of ASI. In fact, this I would like to call it as an historical event in KSC ASI because we are going to have our own Karnataka Journal of Surgery henceforth. And to launch this, our ASI president has wholeheartedly accepted to come on the virtual platform. The whole session will be moderated by Professor Venkatesh KL. He is
Thank you, sir.
professor and head of the plastic surgery department, Victoria Hospital, and he is also the chief editor of our KJS. I request Venkatesh sir to continue the session.
Yes, sir. I think I invite our chairman, KCSI chairman, Narayan Hebsur, sir. Okay, we'll have an invocation. I think Krutika Prasad, are you ready, ma? 1 or 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Go ahead. We'll invoke the God for blessings. We'll take the God's blessings for this great. Krutika. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. ಗಜವದನ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಗೌರಿ ತನಯ ತ್ರಿಜಗವಂದಿತನೇ ಸುಜನರ ಪೊರೆವಾ ಗಜವದನ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಗೌರಿ ತನಯ ಮೋದದಿ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಪಾದವ ತೋರೋ ಮೋದದಿ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಪಾದವ ತೋರೋ ಸಾಧು ವಂದಿತನೇ ಆದರದಿಂದಲೇ ಸರಸಿ ಜನಾಭ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಸರಸಿ ಜನಾಭ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ನಿರುತಲೆ ನೆಯುವಂತೆ ದಯ ಮಾಡೋ ದೇವಾ ಗಜವದನ ಬೇಡುವೆ ಗೌರಿ ತನಯ.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krutika. So nice of
Thank
you.
you,
We
Krutika.
have the God's blessings. Right now, I invite KCSA chairman, Hebsur, sir. Please go ahead with your welcome address, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Venkatesh, our chief editor and today's MOC. Thanks for inviting me. And I take the privilege to welcome our the most visionary of our ASI, that is none other than our president, Dr. Probal Neogi, sir. With a lot of busy schedule, he has found given little time for us. I'm really grateful to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And this is the greatest moment of our association, and we are starting a new journal. That is one of the greatest journey what we have come through. We have, I think so, KSCASI has covered almost all the areas or all the facets of activities. This was the only thing which was not done, and by God's grace and all your blessings, we have been able to do it. I welcome you, sir. I welcome our past president, Dr. Siddesh, sir, for gracing this occasion. I welcome our mentor and jewel of ASI, Dr. Rajan, who was the key person who said we should do this journal, and he helped us in making this beginning. And Dr. Shivram, our past president, past chairman, sorry, who was always telling us you should start this. More than anything, I should thank my secretary, who was every day reminding about journal to me. This is not done. Everything else is done. What about this? When are you finishing? We went on and went on, but it was very difficult to find the people, find the right person, right choice. And Dr. Mulki Patil was the one who is with me in working, and he said, "Sir, we will do it. It is not a difficult task." With his support, we identified Pritesh, and Krupa. Thank you for giving us the way and making things happen. And because of both of your support, I think so today we have been able to do this within 2 months, actually. just 2 months we have been able to do this journal. And I thank all my student, Dr. Rakshit, who is the secretary, who has been working very hard and making this happen. Actually, what happened was Dr. Rajan sir was the chief editor before, and he said, "No, it's why don't you give it to somebody young and energetic?" Then we said, "Let's ask Dr. Venkatesh." He said willingly accepted it, and with his acceptance, it has really worked very well. And I thank all of you for making this happen today. This is the greatest moment of our association. I'm really grateful to all of you people, all the national EC members, state EC members, Rajgopal Shanar, Rajesh Ballal, Gaddi Divakar, Sangamesh, and all the people. Thank you for making this begin. And I request Dr. Venkatesh to please go ahead. I welcome you all once again for this great journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was indeed it's welcoming wholeheartedly, sir. The entire nation, sir. The ASI. Thank you, sir. I would like to request. I think we'll not waste the time of our what do you call that beloved president of ASI, Probal, sir. You can just go ahead with the release of the. This is called the launching, the KJS, Karnataka Journal of Surgery launching ceremony. We are privileged and blessed to have you for the release function. I think,
yes, sir. I will start sharing the screen.
Too.
Yes. Can you see me and can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
right.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Because I am on the mobile, so I'm not able to see. A very good evening to you, to the past president of ASI, Dr. G. Siddesh, the present president, Dr. Hebsur, the hardworking Hebsur, the past president, Dr. Shivram, who set very high standards for the country to follow, and a huge responsibility on the president-elect, Dr. Rajgopal Shinai. To my beloved GC members from Karnataka, Rajgopal sir, Gaddi, Guru Shantapa, and Ishwar, all of you, and all present here, the esteemed colleagues and distinguished guests that are present here. It's indeed a great honor, and actually very excited, all of us, that we gather here today to celebrate the launch of this Karnataka State Journal, which is actually a significant milestone, I would say, in Karnataka's collective journey of advancing medical knowledge. I can say that this branch has been doing an amazing work in my presidency. I can vouch for that in this last year. And I thank each one of you, your membership at large, your leadership, for having done a fabulous job. And this is the icing on the cake, is this journal that you are releasing today. In a rapidly evolving sort of field of medicine, we need a continuous research and innovation, and that has become more critical than ever, I feel. It's obviously with today the world, as you can see, it faces so many unprecedented health challenges we have seen from the pandemic days, and the healthcare system the demands for the healthcare system are huge, and it is basically the solutions to these, I feel, is not only in our ability to understand them to treat them, but it also is to understand them at the fundamental level through research. And I'm sure that this journal will serve all of us a platform for sharing whatever new is being done, for fostering collaboration amongst us, and encouraging exchange of ideas, I would say, across the board. And I'm so fortunate to see that there is such a dedicated editorial board which is present there, and who is so excited and competent, and I'm sure they're going to make an impactful and impact on this journal. And I hope that this journal, and I wish and pray that this journal is the way it is being launched in such a beautiful way, will continue its journey into adulthood, and we will see a great change in the research scenario in Karnataka because through this journal. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everybody who have played a role to bring this journal to life. Actually, the editorial team, the contributors, of course, the reviewers and supporters who would be coming in later on. And I would have to take my I have to apologize to you that I could not come up to your expectations, because Hebsur had requested me to send a video of cutting the ribbon, which unfortunately I could not do because today is my call day and it's a bit busy. So my apologies to you. And anyway, thank you very much, all of you, all the Karnataka chapter, and I look forward to witnessing the impact that this journal will undoubtedly have on the medical community, not only of Karnataka, but of the country. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I think, Prem, you can, I think if President Sir gives us permission, you can just play that.
Yes.
Yeah, animation video. And Sari is going to do the honors, President of ASI, sir.
Right. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Hello and welcome to all the delegates for the inauguration of Journal at KSCASI, and now to inaugurate this I would like to graciously invite Dr. Probal Neogi, National President of ASI, to officially release Karnataka Journal of Surgery.
Well, sir, how was it, sir?
Amazing.
Yeah. Sir, the first issue, it is July to December. We have 42 pages, and all the credit I give it to the Pritesh and Krupa of the Scientific Scholar, which is a US-based company in New York. They have branches in Bombay and Delhi here. And it's our privilege to have them to publish our thing. They have 75 journals to their credit, sir. They are doing this thing. They have all software, especially that editorial assist, which is like, it is a user-friendly, whether for the editors, whether it's for the reviewers, whatever that. It's so user-friendly. They have the updated software for this journal, sir. And I acknowledge my secretariat, Mulki Patil sir, Rakshit, the KSCASI, headed by Hebsur sir, Chandru, the past team, the present team, my editors, my reviewers, my authors. I acknowledge everybody, sir. And as an editor-in-chief, I'm honored to lead this endeavor. Thanks for the chance given by Hebsur sir. We bring together the collective expertise of our surgical community, and this journal will going to be a testament to our commitment to advancing surgical knowledge, as the president of ASI just committed, and it's fostering innovations and promoting excellence in patient care. At the end of the day, we are all towards the patient care. And today we are gathering here to celebrate the launch of this prestigious publication, which will serve as a platform for the surgeons to share their expertise, the research, and our journal will feature cutting-edge articles. And Hebsur said 2 months, and all these 2 months taken only for editing, sir. It's at multiple levels, very stringent, and very like the software of our scientific scholar thing is, the entire 2 months they have taken to take only the 10 articles, and we have received more than 20 articles till now. And it will feature whatever that things. And Karnataka, as you know, it has got a rich legacy of surgical innovation, and we are proud to showcase the state's contributions to the field of surgical education, sir. And we embark on this exciting journey. We advise our journal becoming a leading voice in surgical publishing, and we'll strive hard to maintain the highest standards of editorial integrity. I promise that, sir. We have all that plagiarism software built in, and scientific rigor and clinical relevance. I extend my gratitude to the entire KSCASI and the ASI for this chance given, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Heartily congratulate you, Dr. Venkatesh, and my best wishes and my blessings to you and to these young people, Pritesh and Krupa, as you mentioned. Thank you so much for helping us and the ASI for this.
Thank you, sir.
And thanks a lot to the editor-in-chief, Venkatesh.
I think I can make this edition to be available online right from now, sir, because you have launched it. It's available on the website, and we'll share it in the groups also. Thank you so much, sir.
Great.
Thank you for doing the honors. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us, sir. And this whole animation is Prem's idea,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
And
Thank you so much.
wonderful.
My pleasure. I got an opportunity to showcase something. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Can I?
Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As
Bye-bye.
I said,
Good night.
patient care is the ultimate. Please go back to the OT, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
sir.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
With your permission, we'll continue, sir.
Yes, sir. With your permission. Yes. So coming back to the today's agenda and some teaching programs, Prem is going to unveil us like from anatomy to like augmented reality and whatever. As we know, Prem is the best for recent advances. He had his own quotes. I think we'll not waste much time. Prem can go ahead with his 15 minutes presentation on augmented reality.
Dr. Venkatesh, one second.
Yes, sir, please.
After both the presentations,
Yeah.
we'll have comments from all the
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. We'll take a
legends
feedback.
who have come here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. We'll take a feedback of all.
Okay.
We need suggestions, sir, rather. Yeah.
Sir, shall I start, sir?
Yeah,
please.
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 Prem, full screen.
Sir. Good evening to one and all. And it's a wonderful opportunity that I get to speak when there is a new academic venture which is launched. That is our Karnataka State Journal. So I take this opportunity to thank the Karnataka State Chairman, Dr. Hebsur, our Secretary, Dr. Chandrashekar, and our K. Venkatesh, our Editor-in-Chief, for this opportunity. So my talk is basically more of a journey. I think it, as the name suggests, the anatomy to augmented reality. So when I mention about the journey, I think we need to jump into the time travel and see how the journey has evolved. So let us see that there has been different eras across, and let's see how each era was different and how it has been, the surgical landscape has been changing. So now, yes, we have landed at whatever your Greek and Latin world, which has always been, we have been looking up there, and where the scriptures were, earlier scriptures were noted down, how the surgical anatomy was written or the dissection was done and all those things. So where did these people had the information or the data? Yes, it was all from the cadaveric dissection. When I mentioned the word cadaveric dissection, I think everybody, most of us here, started our medical journey with the cadaver dissection from day one. Sitting with the cadaver, virtually the cadaver was our friend. We split it into each pieces, splits, and learned about the anatomy. So it is one of a wonderful or a realistic way of learning the surgical anatomy or the gross anatomy in the first year. But it has got its own disadvantages, or let's call it as limitations. That is the availability and the ethical issues which are nowadays raising. And let's not just see at the local issue, but at a broader perspective when I talk about ethical concerns. And of course, it is something more of a static learning. That is, there's no dynamic representation of the live tissue or the physiological process. And the variability is also a question. And when I mentioned cadaver, I think everybody remembered the pungent odor of the formaldehyde, which we smelled all through the year. And so this gave birth to the birth of the scriptures, earlier scriptures, to understanding the human body in a much detailed way. When I tell about the scriptures, I think we should never forget of one of our greatest, Sushruta, who has been laying our foundation for the medical field in our world. So this image is something to just demonstrate that even though he's in the past, he's guiding our future. So we are now at a cusp of something very revolutionary, where something a word called as digital technology is transforming the present world. But before we go to the current world, let us that there is some more era which we have missed upon. So let's see what are those. So of course, again we climb onto a time machine and go back to the era of 1900, or let's assume 1600, 1700, 1800, and so on. Even in this era, it was a cadaver which was a guiding path to understand the surgical anatomy or the human body per se. But this era has also given us wonderful stalwarts like Bill Roth or Cocker or Halstead, and henceforth on whom even now some of the principles of surgical techniques is still based upon. So they all learned through this gross way of learning the surgical anatomy. But now when I was speaking about the hundreds of years before I come to the current, there's another one small era that is the previous decades, let's assume just few decades back. This had the 2D and the 3D modeling. Yes, the life became much more colorful when the color TV came with colorful images like this, which were our guiding. I think when I talk about 3D modeling, I think many of our old timers, when I used to go to meet the consultants, they used to have this 3D model displayed on their consultation table just to have patient learning and to understand and display. But it had its again pros and cons. Even though it was wonderful, we had moved on from the cadaver, but we had its own pros. The advantages were that it could be having accessibility beyond the lab. It could be repeated. That is, you need not have one cadaver, but multiple times you can repeat and learn the anatomy. But it had limitations. That is, it lacked the depth and the immersive experience which is needed for the real world application. So it is time that now we jump and come to the current era and probably even have a peek into the future also. So we come to something called as the digital technological world, present world, which is there is an exorbitant or just a huge boom which is happening in this field. To just even to comprehend this boom, I think we all have this boom happening in our own hands. The cell phones. I think you all will be aware that how the cell phone has evolved every year. It's trying to do unimaginable things. So this is a technological boom which is happening right in front of our eyes. Even though the medical field is comparatively lagging behind to this, we are taking help from them. And when I tell that we are taking help, it has broadened the world also in a different reality continuum. This is called as a reality continuum. That is, one side we have the real reality, that is a physical existing world. On the other hand, we have the virtual reality. That means a completely artificial world which does not exist. In between, we have an augmented reality and the augmented virtuality. Let's understand it better with an image. If you can see here on my left-hand side, we have a complete reality where a duck is just staring at a swan. And on the right side, complete right side, you can see that there is a complete virtual world. That means this whole world does not exist at all. And when we improvise on the reality, it becomes an augmented reality. When we improvise on the virtuality, we become an augmented virtuality. Yes, this virtual world which I spoke about, it was wonderful experience. It gave us a peek into an unimaginable, colorful world, a digital world, but it cut off us from the real world. This was a major disadvantage. But we did make use of even that virtual world also. We have virtual which came across. If you can see on a simulator, somebody is working, that gallbladder does not exist. It's a completely virtual anatomy which is created there, which we may use to improvise. Of course, as I told, it has benefits like enhanced realism and skill development, which made multiple practices improved our motor skills. But again, challenges were there that it does not recreate the complete immersive surgeon experience during the live procedure. Neither do they give the feedback also, which the augmented reality could. This all put together forms into one world called as extended reality. And of course, I would not bore you with how this augmented reality is done. That is, there's a big process on where a video stream is identified, a digital twin is created, and then the device is shared to a software which it superimposes onto the real world and what we see, which can be modified through the gestures or the touch screen and so on. This is how I was trying to tell that the the augmented reality looks. If you can see that down the book, there is a heart image, but there is no heart really lying. But if you see through the tab eye, that is an augmented reality. One of the ways of seeing an augmented reality, the heart is virtually lying on the book. So when I say that this is how we are experiencing, so one of the questions which rises to our mind is that, is it the first time I'm trying to see this, or have I ever seen it before? So let's see, have we seen it before? Just 1 second.
You've seen it in movies. You've seen it in games. And now, it's in advertisements, product placements, design, consumer apps, and art. It's augmented reality. And this technology is advancing farther and farther every day. You're here because you want to take part in something big, something you'll help build, change, and improve. There are many ways to get started in this journey.
Wow, that was some magical experiences. Really gave us a different feel, isn't it? So in our day-to-day life, I think we have all used augmented reality. One of the good ways is the shopping platforms like Amazon or Flipkart, where we can see that there is an AR view which is there. If you click on that, you can get this chair in your living room, which does not exist. But you can really understand how the chair would look, how the spatial intelligence, what I keep talking, is very well understood when we look through the eyes of the augmented reality. So why not use it in our surgical field? Yes, we are already using it. On the left side, if you can see, we are just trying to overlap the systems, the arterial or the venous system or the liver. It can be overlapped over any other organ which it has taken the data from and has created the digital twin, which I mentioned earlier. Yes, you need not be just overlapping on the organ itself. You can lift it up, turn it, you can rotate, you can see in all angles, you can zoom it in, you can, multiple times you can experience it and virtually enter into the part of that body and experience and see how exactly or where exactly is the pathology lying which you are trying to tackle it. It's just wonderful to just see this. So can augmented reality, or how augmented reality could change the future, is in, of course, multiple ways. These are the ways, that is enhanced visualization, which I have been talking about. And of course, the pre-operative and the intraoperative guidance, the remote collaboration can happen, education and training. And of course, our ultimate goal about the patient outcome is also improved. So, but when I spoke about training, this is how we can split it into each organ, each part, rotate it, play around, understand till you can just keep seeing it until you really get the feel of understanding about how exactly it is there. And well, I had an opportunity of experiencing augmented reality at Singapore. It was just mind-blowing. And then there is, let's not talk about these expensive equipments, which I say this is Metaverse or Meta or the Oculus or henceforth. It is available as a toy on our Amazon and Flipkart. The AR toy is available. I recently ordered an AR toy just to experience it in our hand. You can see the heart in front of you. Rotate it with your hand and just experience how it is. I think anybody is interested in this technology can just procure, which is very, very reasonable. That means AR is very much available at a reasonable even cost also, but need not be for specific part like the surgical, but for to understand AR. And just let's not go about my feeling or my experience or henceforth. We always go about the literature. And yes, there are plenty of literature already existing about understanding about the role of augmented reality. There are even review articles which are available. And they have multiple debatable topics which are present in these studies. But they are trying to conclude that the AR technology is shown to improve ergonomics, visualization, as well as reduce operation time and blood loss. AR can also be used to improve education and surgical training. Well, these are some of the very positive, I think, quotes which can be taken from these review articles. And yes, there are questions about can they improve problem solving and spatial skill, which I previously mentioned. Yes, they have shown to improve the problem solving abilities. We can, let's assume we are talking about anatomy of for an ventral hernia or an inguinal hernia. when you understand this whole surgical anatomy through this AR, I think we'll come across a different way of even solving the current challenges like the simple hernia or whatever we are facing day to day. Yes, it is amazing, colorful, interactive, immersive, and all. But all during all this phase, let's not forget our critical appraisal mentality. That whenever a technology comes, whenever, even though we are slow adopters because there are lives at risk, we need to see whether any technology does it have its own pros and cons. Yes, even AR is having a little bit of disadvantages, like it's time consuming, can be costly when I told about a particular specific thing, and field of vision is limited according to some of the existing AR glasses. We don't know about the unforeseen retinal issues. We don't know about the Z depth. And of course, it makes us reliant about new technology and the data which is also being waiting into the whatever the database of this softwares also is questionable. But as we speak about the cons and all, the augmented reality is making its own way into different fields and venturing into different worlds. And one of this is augmented reality into robotic surgery. Well, this is a chapter in itself, that how imagine that a robo is there, the robo with artificial intelligence, which uses augmented reality to understand the surgical anatomy. I think the robo can virtually be capable with the, guided by the artificial intelligence using the AR, can perform the surgery on maybe near future also. I think even though it might sound very kiddish or immature, but I think the possibility cannot be ruled out. Well, the scalpel may have shaped the history of surgery, but the future will be defined by the transformative power of technology. Here, the augmented reality is guiding our hands and expanding our vision. Well, this is more than an evolution. It's a revolution that will redefine precision, safety, and the very experience of surgery, which we all relish and enjoy. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Prem, probably you wanted more time. It's okay. We'll have
It's okay, sir.
We'll have
I may not be too boring.
You'll never be boring. That was fantastic. When you took us to a different world, especially everybody does this, Amazon, Flipkart, this is the season going on. See, we experience that. We imagine a dishwasher keeping in our kitchen, all this. And as you appropriately said, why don't we do it in the OT? Pre-op, post-op, intro-op. Like
exactly, sir.
Go with a good preparation, 3D.
Yeah, so we are already having the augmented reality in our world. We are using it in our day-to-day life. So why not use it into surgical world? I mean, it is going to come, or it has already come also.
Very good thought. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm open for any discussion also if somebody is interested to have a discussion.
Yeah. Any questions in the chat? Only congratulations. Yes. If there are no questions, thanks to the junior faculty and the students, how to plenty of clinical material, especially government colleges, all that. We do a lot. He must be a host, no? Co-host.
Yeah. At the outset, I'd like to thank the Karnataka State Chapter, Professor Hebsur, the chairman, Dr. Chandru, the secretary, Dr. Venki. I call him my big brother. So he is, we've been known, although it's been only 3-4 years, it's like we've been known each other for a long, long time. Thanks for all the mentoring, Venki. I'd be failing in my duty if I don't mention Dr. Shivram sir here, Dr. Clement Rajan, our guiding lights of Surgical Society of Bangalore. Thank you all. Yeah, so after the pyrotechnics of Virendra Sehwag and Virat Kohli of Prem Kumar, let us get back to the Rahul Dravidian, more boring sort of test match cricket. This is one of the driest topics for all of us, writing a journal, reading a journal, something that we are fairly reluctant. We're left to us, we'd rather go and operate than do anything else. Right. So is the screen visible?
You just shared it, but it disappeared. Share it again. You are a co-host. I think you can do it now.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, can we all see it?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Go to the bigger view. Yeah.
Yeah.
PPT.
Right. Okay, so the original article. What is this? So when we look at the word article, we first start off with a melee of questions. We have 150 questions. And it's a big jumble in the brain as to what are all the various ways. How am I going to approach this big humongous task?
Himo, go to the PPT mode, PowerPoint presentation mode.
Is it?
Probably.
At least on my screen, it is on PPT mode.
Correct, correct.
Make it F5. F5.
F5. Is it done? Is it better now?
No, it's not a full screen.
No, it's not full screen.
You probably will have to stop sharing and share this presentation screen. You're sharing PowerPoint screen.
That's what I've been doing.
Share.
I think we have a
Standby. Prem, you have.
Okay. I think admin. I think Martin is sharing.
Yes.
Bigger view.
Please go to slideshow.
Slideshow. Next to animations. Yeah.
Yes,
Go ahead, Himagirish. Yeah.
Okay, so can I operate the slides now? Probably not. I think Mr. Martin will have to do that for us. Yeah. Next screen, please. Next. So many questions. What to write? Why should we write? What are the types of articles? How to write? So what are the parts of an article? Citations, bibliography, blah, 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 blah. Right? So next slide, please. So this is what one of my mentors says. When experience is shared amongst your peers, it becomes knowledge. So basically what we are writing is our own articles, what we do. And we basically write about, let's hold on to the previous screen. Let's hold on, yeah. So I will mention next. So then the next screen can be had. I think we can start working like that. Yeah, so basically what we write about is our articles are all our experience. So we operate in the OTs and then we document it, and that is our experience. And we publish it and it goes into peer review, and then it comes out as a journal, and then it becomes knowledge. Today it comes as a journal, tomorrow it comes as a book chapter. So that is what is knowledge for us traditionally. So when experience is shared amongst your peers, it becomes knowledge. And that is, that's quite a fancy stimulus for us all to start writing. Next slide. Yeah, so basically there are two kinds of studies, a retrospective study or a prospective study. Retrospective study, we look back, done after interventions and outcomes have happened. So predominantly it's a record review. Usually patients aren't active participants because they've all come to the hospital, got their interventions and gone back home. Whereas a prospective study is one where we look forth, interventions are planned and their course and outcomes are studied as they happen, as and when they happen. So it is sort of real time. Patients are active, informed and consenting participants. Now, if a patient does not want to participate in the study, we cannot take them as a statistic. Next slide. Yeah, so how does one go about doing all these things? Well, this is what we all did as we were PGs. This is what we were taught by our mentors, and this is what we continue to do and teach our PGs as well. So it all starts with a research question. What do I study? There has to be a question that comes to me. What is the rate of hypocalcemia in the thyroidectomies that I do? What is the rate of biliary injuries in the lap choles that I do? Once that is done, the next thing to do is to find out what else is happening in the world and what the other people are telling about whatever is occurring to me. Because I am one and the world is one huge ocean. So I will be better served when I review the literature and see what all is being done. And that will give us a perspective of what to aim for in our study. So once we get a research question, we have a review of literature, our aims will be clear. And along with the aims will come the primary and the secondary objectives of our study. Once we have the primary and secondary objectives and the aim, and then it comes to methodology. How do I conduct this study? What all do I plan to do? So it will be best for all of us to outline every single thing that we do. Once that is there, then we estimate the magnitude of the problem. How big is the problem? Parathyroid is something that's a very, very rare disease. On the other hand, diabetic foot is so common, it's a dime a dozen. So the prevalence of the problem and the magnitude of the problem decides the sample size. So once we come to the sample size criteria for inclusion, exclusion, we can't include an 18-year-old guy and a 90-year-old gentleman in the same, we can't use the same yardstick for them. So we need inclusion and exclusion criteria. Having done that, this ethics clearance. Ethics clearance is something that has come to occupy more and more of a space in our public publishing and studies and all that. This did not play as big a part probably 20 years ago. But then when we realize that it's about patient autonomy. So what we do to the patient has the power to decide what he or she wants to do with it. So when I'm going to talk about my patient out into the public, although I conceal the, I safeguard the confidentiality, although I conceal the particulars, still I am morally bound to take my patient's permission. And my patient is completely within his or her rights to exercise their autonomy. This is why we need ethics clearance before we start on a study. And this is why most of, or invariably all the journals ask us proof of ethics clearance, ethics committee clearance, as we submit our articles for publication. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so having got all these things, having got the difficult parts, then we get on to the study per se, talk to the patient, obtain informed consent from them, talk to them about all possible outcomes of the intervention that we have planned, and then positive as well as negative. And then we explain to the patient as well as to ourselves what the intervention and observation of course is. We do the intervention, observe the course every step of the way, document every little thing as to what has happened to the patient, tabulate, arrive at a big master chart. And once that is done, we choose what we are going to tell the world about and then apply statistical tests of significance. Now, why is this important? Let's see it in a bit. Once that is done, we come to the results and then we take it forward. Next slide, please. So what is this p-value? So a probability value is a number describing how likely it is that my data would have occurred by random chance. So if I go and say that by doing, for instance, maybe by using harmonic, I had fewer biliary injuries than by not using. Somebody is going to come up and say it could just be by chance. So how am I going to prove it? So this is where the level of statistical significance comes in. So the smaller the p-value, the less likely the results occurred by random chance, and the more likely that the results are significant. And it's only when something is significant that somebody is going to be, likely to be sitting up and taking notice of what I say, which is ultimately what I want at the end of the day. I want people to notice what I say. I want more people to cite my article. I want my citation index to go up. And this is the crux of it. And for all that, I will have to do with my study having as less a p-value as possible. And depending on the power of the study, depending on what I'm studying, the p-value, there's various levels of p-value or various values that we describe. So generally it is 0.05. So if that's anything that's less than 0.05 is considered to be significant. So that means that there's less than 5% chance that whatever I've found has occurred by chance. Sometimes it is 1%, sometimes it is 0.05%. It depends on what we are studying. Next slide, please. Yeah, so now this brings us to this another oft discussed aspect of a study, bias. So what is a bias? So when I'm doing maybe a thread ligature thyroidectomy versus a sutureless thyroidectomy, wherein I ligate the poles with the use of energy devices. Maybe if the thyroid is very big, maybe I'm going to decide against the use of energy sources because I'm more comfortable and it's more safer to use ligature. Now there's a bias. Then it will not be a properly randomized study then. Two patients with the same set of complaints will not get the same intervention, which is what we want at the end of the day. So statistical bias refers to systematic error or deviation in the collection. So there is a tendency for the data to consistently, misestimate the value. So there can be a response bias, there can be a measurement bias, there are other types of bias too. Next slide, please. The previous one. Yeah, so there can be selection bias, there can be an information bias. Sometimes there can be confounding. We all know the Framingham Heart study. We certainly remember our K.E. Park and J. Park, our textbook of community medicine, talking to us about this study where they were looking at the effects of hypertension on cardiac health. And then a lot of people were smokers. So smoking is something that will affect the BP as well as the heart. So that's a confounding factor. So that mixes things up. So these are all the various types of bias that come up. So how do we get rid of this? Next slide. So blinding. The single blind is only where the participants are blinded. Double blind is where both the participants and the investigators, so both my patients and me, we are blinded as to what intervention is being performed in the study. A triple blind is where even the statistician is blinded. So the opposite of a blind trial is an open label trial. So these are all so many terms that we sort of learn and relearn and kind of remember as we go along, as we study more and more into the process of it. So Terry Pratchett says that the best research is the research that you don't know that you're doing. So that means that everybody is totally blinded. Nobody knows what is doing. That's the best thing. Next slide. And then we come to another method where there's randomization. So this is another process where bias is eliminated. In simple words, it's just random allocation of subjects to treatment groups so that whatever intervention has happened by chance. This is the method. The method is by chance. The result is we want to eliminate chance in the results. That's what it is. So various types of randomization, simple randomization, random allocation to groups, systematic randomization, there's block randomization, there's stratified, minimization. For want of time, let us not delve into details of all these things. As and when we go into publishing, we can always concern ourselves as to what is relevant to that particular study. Next. So having done all this, how am I going to write the article? So some guidelines, some guideposts. It's best to have simple language, avoid long sentences. Try and make sure that our sentences are grammatically correct because it should be easy to the eye. So any sentence that is grammatically correct is easy to the eye. That's one of the basics. And then everything is in passive voice. I'm not going to say I did it. I'm going to say this was found. And then as far as the article per se is concerned, there are various parts: introduction, discussion, methods, results. So we concentrate on what part of the article is our own. That is our methodology and our results, or our case report if it's a case report that we are writing about. So that is what is the crux of the article, and that is what a reviewer also focuses in on. Introduction is something that provides context for the main body. It is sort of more nicer and it is more rounded when we provide context and then start talking about what we are doing, rather than straight away just going ahead with, okay, I did this, these many patients were there. A context will always make it a better experience. Discussion puts the study result in perspective. So this is what I found, and then this is what my peers found, or maybe first talk about my peers. This is what this such and such an author found from New Zealand. This is what such and such an author found from Africa, and this is what I found, and this is how I compare with my peers. So that is what a discussion is about. Having done all that, one or two sentence conclusion with regards to what I've studied. So that sort of completes the whole article. And this is the basic design. So IMRAD is the pattern that we all sort of learn and are taught and teach others. So introduction, methods, results, and discussion. And then finally a conclusion. So this is the standard format of an original article that invariably every journal asks us to do. And then there is always a synopsis, maybe a 500 word or 1,000 word abstract. Sometimes abstracts can be unstructured as well, just a single paragraph as to what all was done in brief. Sometimes people ask for a structured abstract where there are 1 or 2 lines about introduction, maybe 2-3 lines each about methods and results, and then a line about discussion in the end. Right. Next slide. As far as tables and figures are concerned, so these are as important to an article as makeup is to us. It's basically, we sort of beautify it and give context of the article. So hard statistics can be mentioned as tables. Primary objectives of the study can be mentioned as tables. There are various ways of indicating our statistics. It can be tables, it can be graphs or graphics, it can be figures, diagrams, flowcharts. Generally, adjunctive data is presented as graphs or graphics, secondary objectives. And figures, of course, they enhance the reading experience. We all like to look at figures, don't we? Next. So bibliography is about giving credit to those who helped write the article. There will be copyright issues as well, so it is always essential to, this is the most essential part of the article. The reference number at the end of the sentence that bears reference, and it can be either mentioned in square brackets or superscript. Two broad types of article references, the Vancouver styling and the Harvard styling. Next slide. So that's an example. The one above refers to the Harvard referencing style, and then the one below refers to the Vancouver referencing style. There are two different varieties of ways of doing it, and each journal will have its own preferred method, and they advise us to put it in a particular style, so we comply what the publisher says. So peer review. This is another essential aspect of our journaling. Basically, it is proofreading. So my mistakes, I'm blind to my mistakes. So best to give it to some impassionate, dispassionate peer who's going to go through it through a fine-toothed comb. Can be anything from a simple spelling mistake to a basic factual error in the study. So clarification and discussion by peers, that makes sure that whatever I'm writing passes the test of scrutiny and it gets the endorsement of authenticity. So that, therefore, a peer review is as an essential filter for any report to go through. So right then, in the last few minutes, we've gone through why I had to write, how am I going to go about conducting a study, how am I going to go about writing the report, what all the written article will entail. So this is what we've been through. Next slide. So in the end, it follows that a doctor who can read and write articles will stay in business longer than one who can't. Ultimately, that's what we all here for. Thank you all for a patient reading. Again, I would like to thank Karnataka State Chapter for giving me the opportunity to present in this very august forum. Thank you again.
Himagirish, congratulations. You made us proud. You have given a very crisp, just of how to
Very clear
publish
message.
articles. Very, very, very meticulous, as our President-elect has commented in the chat box. So before we go to the feedback and question answers, I would like our, what do you call that, Pritesh, the man of the show, Pritesh and Krupa. They are the scientific scholar chiefs of India. Pritesh sir, why don't you show the website and our online launch of today's first issue, KJS, July.
Sure. Can I have the screen sharing right?
I think Martin makes her as a host, co-host. Yeah.
Done, sir.
You can go ahead, Pritesh sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a lovely presentation, and we are really proud to be a part of this. We would just like to show the online issue which is published. Yes, you can see this. This is the live website, and this entire issue is published. So you can see all the articles which are there in this issue are all in the same sequence. They are mentioned on the website also. And you can also see the page numbers are also mentioned on the right hand side. If any of the article, if you want to read, I will just show one original article. So you can click on the full text and you can read the article. On the right hand panel, there's a navigation tool also. So if you want to directly go to the introduction part or material and methods or the result section or the discussion section, you can click on it and it will directly navigate you to that particular portion of that article. We also have a feature of abstract reading. Yeah, so you can have a play button over here.
Objectives: to evaluate the clinical outcomes of 25 patients undergoing microscopic thyroidectomy, focusing on demographic details, perioperative complications, and postoperative results, with specific attention.
Yeah. Okay. So you can also listen to the article, it will read the abstract portion of the article also. You can also check the statistics of the article. On the right hand side panel, you can see how many full text views are there and how many PDF downloads are there. This will definitely help out in future when the article is viewed. So how much article is viewed, and at the same time, what is the popularity of the article. You can also download the PDF of the article online. Here you can also view the statistics of the article. Yes, Pratish.
The
This
citations.
Yes, it will show you the citations, which will be very much useful in future indexing of the journal. So yeah, Pratish, if you can just move the cursor. Citations, yeah, you can see total what citations are there, and so the data of the citations can be visible over here.
Right. I mean, we just published today. So once we register the DOI, this statistics will start populating. And as and when you start, the user or reader starts citing the article, it will show real-time numbers. So somebody who is reading an article can immediately get to know that how many citations this particular article has. And when you click on that, it will also take you to the articles which have cited this article. So it gives a real-time analysis of a particular manuscript.
In the issues section, you will have archives. So since this is the first issue, so you will be able to see all the archives, and every new issue will be displayed in the current issue also. So this page will go on adding up as the journal grows.
Right. And as Krupa said about the PDF, here's the preview of the PDF file. So,
yeah.
So the user can download the PDF file or can read it online. And at the same time, we have a page which will display the complete statistics of the article. Yes, Kripa, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all. We have covered the view of the website. That's all.
As I initially mentioned, we have the most advanced software, and it is user-friendly. That editorial assistant is like a fantastic map.
Thank you, sir.
And this is the entire world can access. We have international editors. We have Deepak Khatri, he's a neurosurgeon at New York, and then we have UAE, Dr. Tanvir. So we have international editors also.
Is the
yes, sir.
Page?
Yeah.
Yes.
All our stalwarts, ASI stalwarts, and KSCASI. Yes.
Although I must have troubled you for asking your photographs and details.
No. We need them, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll stop sharing now and we can continue with the presentation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Pritesh and Kupa, again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be part of such a vibrant group.
And it is the most updated.
Yeah, and all the presentations were really excellent. Dr. Rao's presentation was to the point. And as an author, as a publisher, we expect that all the authors would follow similar things so that it helps everyone, not just the editors, even the publishers, because there are a lot of things that publisher will have to take care when author does not follow certain standards. and which
Right.
unnecessarily delays the article, and sometimes it annoys the authors as well, because we keep asking certain information which is very important. Like, for example, you talked about the ethical clearance, which is very, very important in today's world. So, we do not leave a single article when there are, which is an original article, and there are cases that we have seen that author simply said that I do not have. And we have to then explain that why it is necessary. So, your presentation was very, very apt and to the point. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Take that compliment, Simo.
Certainly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Pritesh. Thank you, Krupa madam. Good, good.
Take comments from.
Yeah, Hebsur sir and Chandra sir, please take comments from. I think you can identify people and take their suggestions.
We should start with Dr.
Kalaivani
madam.
Congratulations, Dr. Venkatesh.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Narayan. He was just behind this.
Correct.
Finally got it. So very happy about it, really. And
thank you, madam. Thank you.
Prem, as usual. But I'm also going to talk on AI. For the,
madam. Of course, we'll love to hear.
Very nice, very nice. And Himagirish, as usual, to the point.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice to see, doing a lot of new things, and really nice. Very nice, Dr. Narayan Hebsur. It's really.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
The best I've done.
Thank you, madam. All your guidance. She is the scientific chairman of our KSCASI. She and our Rajesh Ballal, they have been doing wonders actually.
Wonders.
Thank you.
Little small things, yes.
Oh, madam, thank you.
Arjun sir.
Dr. Ramesh sir, Makam Ramesh sir.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations. This is a wonderful thing that we have been pioneering in so many things that we have been doing. And I think this is one of the best things that has happened in recent years. We have reached out socially in the last 2 years, but academically we wanted to see for a new dimension. And getting our own publication is very, very necessary, because a lot of people want to publish and they have to pay huge sums of money for different journals. But this is the time when we are able to manage with our own thing. So if I can ask, could I be, how much would you charge for a publication in this journal?
So for the time being, it is free. Sir.
Yeah.
Fix the charges.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's how it should
see,
be.
sir.
That's how everybody starts from Amazon. Everything will be free. So, Venkatesh heading the show, I think you'll do a fabulous.
Need
what
your
you
blessing,
did for Surgical Society of Bangalore, we want to see the same thing repeated here.
We'll do it,
And
sir, with your patronage and blessings. Yeah.
so a lot of things. It was very nice to have Prem's lecture here, because we have to look at future. The first thing that we achieved was getting a publication. We have to look at innovations. Somehow we have been behind in innovations. And Prem, if I can mention a few things,
Sure,
a
sir.
surgeon called Richard Satava, he was the head of the Department of Surgery in the US Armed Forces. And he was in Vietnam War. And when he was in the front line, he saw a lot of American soldiers dying in Vietnam War. And then he went back to the US Senate, and there he made a point saying that every soldier in the war field deserves to be operated by the best surgeon in the best university. And we have to develop technology that makes people to be operated at the war field from here in a university hospital. And that was the birth of virtual reality, robotic surgery, and so many technologies. And Richard Satava also made the first virtual reality simulator. So we should be really proud today. Technology, surgeons have driven technology, and today virtual reality in medicine is because of surgeons. And I think we have to take it forward from there.
Very nice, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir. If you are not updated, we are outdated.
Yeah, and I would like, I just have a suggestion that we should have more of innovations in our conferences, a chapter for innovations. In fact, in 1998, I did the first conference called Breakthrough Surgical Technologies. Many senior surgeons have attended this. It was fabulous. I had Richard Satava giving 6 talks in that conference. Then we had another conference in 2003 in Indian Institute of Science called International Conference of Human Machine Interfaces, in which 70% was engineers, 30% were doctors and surgeons. So when we have this mixed population, that is where new ideas come, new innovations are born. And I think we have to have an innovation center or department or somebody in charge of this innovation. Some young dynamic guy like Prem can do it.
I have started as a small scale. I have a small lab in our hospital, sir, called as a lab to create innovation. Trying very small start, sir.
Indian Jugad. Sir, anyway, he is going to be the SSB president from January. He'll do wonders. And for the KSCASI,
I need all the blessings and support for that, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, sure.
We'll make
It's
it big,
always there.
that center.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all I want to say. It's
Thank you, sir.
fantastic.
Thanks.
Please keep it up. Let us learn from you guys more.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Ramesh, sir. Yeah.
Siddesh, sir, your comments, please, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I've been listening to the whole proceedings. I think it is one of the landmark events in the history of Karnataka's chapter. And I really congratulate the whole office bearers. Nevertheless, Chairman Narayan Hebsur for leading from the front. And I think his name will ever be taken as a person who really started this journey of publication, academic publication under the banner of Karnataka State Chapter. And to take this as a challenge, I really was surprised when Venkatesh's name came up. He is taken up, but it is because it is really nice of him. But I was very sure when he takes up something into his domain, he will deliver it, and he has proven it today. And we have very able agency to support us. That is what I found out with their presentations and their support, what they have given, and the system, what they have, robust system, what it appears, and the software which they have demonstrated, definitely it is really interesting. And I look forward to see that a lot of our youngsters take this as an opportunity to publicize whatever. And the culture, ultimately, what I believe is by starting this, we have started a new culture of in not only what you call it as innovations, but it's a research mentality which you have inculcated to start from the very beginning of a surgeon's life. I think that's where we are heading at. I feel the future generation is going to use this to the best of their ability and their this one to use this to publicize their work. And more you see, this culture will definitely going to spread. I wish all the best to the whole team of editorial board, and I wish I can be part of it to contribute also as well and learn from it definitely. And as Ramesh put it, this is the way. Unless we put in our head and do, we will definitely not. It's not perish, but at least we will not be identified as a person of worth in the future. So we need to publicize our work and also share. Only then we can progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Siddesh, sir. And you have led by example, sir. You are the one who started the ultrasound for surgeons, endoscopy for surgeons. It will be continued with the new team, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that perfect message.
Thank you for your blessing, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rajan, sir.
Thank you for giving me a chance to express my immense gratitude especially to Dr. Hebsur for understanding the situation I was in. I am facing some issues of health as well as lack of motivation. And I just couldn't get myself to do anything for this journal. I toyed with the idea in my mind for 2-3 months, perhaps delaying the process also. And finally, I had the courage to say, no, I have to back out. And as soon as Dr. Hebsur mentioned the young, sturdy stallion horse of Venkatesh, I said, please go ahead. Because Venkatesh had done such a good job of our Golden Jubilee celebrations of Surgical Society. So he's a man who does not lack testosterone like I do.
You can see the alopecia. More
So he will
testosterone.
definitely take this up, and I'm happy that it has moved forward in a short time. If I have done any mistake or delay, I apologize, but this is how things evolve and this is how things happen. And it has now happened for the best thing for the society, for the journal and for our association. So I say thank you very much and all the very best. I am always there to support from the sidelines with the best efforts that I can put in at this point in time. So,
Rajan sir, we will not leave you. We work under your guidance only. Always.
Rajan sir is always a guiding spirit for us.
Yes, he is called the jewel of ASI.
Jewel of ASI.
Yeah. People just won't name. They just don't give a name like that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Naz madam, I think so, wants to talk.
Okay.
Naz madam is trying to come in. Naz madam,
she's.
Yeah. If no thing, I think Chandru can do vote of thanks and
we can.
And please don't leave. We have to respect the nation by national anthem after the vote of thanks. Please stay back.
National anthem, please stay back.
Please stay back.
In fact, I'm very happy.
Prem and Himagirish did an excellent job. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Really
Thank
great.
you, sir.
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
opportunity, sir. Thank you.
As always, it's an honor and privilege. Thank you.
Definitely is.
My selection will never go wrong.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Venkatesh did the whole thing today, actually.
It is all under your guidance. Nim guidance, sir. You gave us a free hand, sir. You gave us a free hand. What else we need? That's all.
Yeah. ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಫ್ರೀ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. We'll conclude.
Yeah,
this
Chandru.
session,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Happy to present the vote of thanks for this evening function. So, behalf of KSCASI, I wholeheartedly thank our National ASI President, Dr. Probal Neogi, sir, who took his time to launch the first edition of first volume of KJS. I also thank our past President ASI, Dr. Siddesh, sir, and all the past chairmen of KSCASI, the members of ASI, executive committee members, national EC members of ASI, and the entire editorial board headed by Dr. Venkatesh KL, and today's speakers, Dr. Prem and Dr. Himagirish Rao, and big thanks to scientific scholar in charge, Dr. Pritesha and Dr. Krupa Seth, so who have helped us to get out this first volume of KJS. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much. Hope we will continue this good work in the future also. And please request everyone to stand up for the national anthem. Martin?
Thank you.
Wherever we are.
Yeah.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Good night, everyone.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone, for all the
Thank you.
support, and we have been able to make this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good
everyone.
night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Take care.